folks, I'm M.A. Roscoe from Good Day, Minnesota. You know, every day on Good Day, Minnesota, we've got lots of interesting stories. It's hard to catch them all. And so sometimes a viewer will call us or write us asking to see a feature again. Well, this is for you, a rebroadcast of one of our favorite Good Day, Minnesota features.
Bigger hill than we have down around our areas. Steep and deep.
Fat tire freaks with a Flatlander address? Get yourself to Lutsen. You can stay at Eagle Ridge and bike right out your door. Onto 35 miles of trails where gravity gets her groove on.
Advanced terrain, you know, like mountainous terrain. Big steeps. If they're used to riding on a street bike or on a flat road, it's no problem. You just, you pedal all day. But once you get into the up and down and kind of off-camber stuff, it's all balanced.
And it's all downhill if you buy a lift ticket. Chip, you coming? You coming? Come on! Yep, the lift does all the work. You have all the fun. Thank you. At the top of the lift, stunning views of Lake Superior and one nervous gal. What advice do you have for me, for somebody who doesn't really mountain bike? What do I need to do to stay off my head and on the bike?
Essentially, we have what we call kind of the ready position or the attack position. And you usually stay back on the bicycle a little bit more and keep your arms extended.
I was thrilled to find that the beginner trails are clearly marked. Chip, I'm telling you, this is easier on a bike. So, while some riders come here to test themselves...
Oh, yeah, I like going fast.
There's something to be said for going slow, too. You might want to pause at the River Gorge, or stop by the old homestead being taken over by a quiet meadow. Whether you're a family or a full-on fanatic, at Lutsen...
There's something for everybody here.
No one even paid that kid to say that. Wake up with us, won't you, on Good Day, Minnesota, weekdays from 6 to 9.
I'm Angela Hampton. Every evening at 9 and 10, 9 News brings you stories about interesting events and people all across Minnesota. Sometimes viewers ask to see certain stories again. So we're pleased to bring you these encores.
There's a long list of Minnesotans who found their way to fame, from author F. Scott Fitzgerald to actress Jessica Lange to makeup abuser Tammy Faye Baker.
But there are many others who's found a way to make their mark by changing our lives. Rob Olson with the paperwork.
As we wrap up a century and mark off the accomplishments of Minnesotans, historians note
the fact that this is an innovative place. Maybe we've got a lot of time in the winter to think things up, but...
A Minnesota engineer gave this to the world, accidentally inventing the Post-it note while experimenting with adhesives. The glue was too weak to be used for anything else, but this idea stuck, and now helps us note the most influential Minnesotans of the past 100 years.
For the 20th century, it's produced influential people who know how to operate on a global scale and have effected change that affects the rest of the world.
Historian David Wiggins put together our short list of who did what, beginning with a man who tamed a river.
A man by the name of William de la Barre, who was a Vienna-trained engineer who approached the Mississippi River as an engineering problem.
He persuaded Congress to give us money for a series of reservoirs and dams on the upper Mississippi, regulating the flow of water and setting up Minnesota as a great force in national shipping.
How much we could export, how much water power was available on the river, and just the way that we use the river as a navigation channel.
To this day.
We, of course, would have to include Charles Lindbergh on this list, whose flight across and changed a lot over the 20th century as well, and Minnesotans have been influential with that.
And added the term security blanket to our collective vocabulary.
That little chuckle, that approach to the world even, that the Peanuts characters helped everybody to develop. Those are important changes, even though they may be small changes, even though they may not have shaken history, they did influence our lives. He did influence our lives in ways I would not want to have been without.
There are many others not mentioned here, many famous Minnesotans whose influence is yet to be noted.
We may not even reflect on these things until many years from now.
The next century.
The next century.
Rob Olson, 9 News.
Watch 9 News at 9 and at 10 every night on UPN 9.
This 9 News weather update is brought to you by Blue Planet Gasoline.
I'm meteorologist Janie Peterson. There are some strong thunderstorms possible again during the overnight. Some may contain some pretty heavy rainfall. Monday, there's another chance of thunderstorms in the morning, partly cloudy during the afternoon, more evening thunderstorms as well.
Montel Williams, The People's Court, Divorce Court, The Jenny Jones Show. Weekday mornings are something to talk about. It all starts at 9 on UPN 9.
A Father's Day fire in Queens triggers a deadly explosion.
Hurricane Allison causes floods in the Northeast.
And protesters renew their fight on Vieques Island.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks so much for looking in on Headline News. I'm Kisa Daniels.
And I'm Jackie Reed. Topping our news for you this half hour. New York firefighters worked through the night battling a blaze that left 3 veteran firemen dead. The firefighters were killed by an explosion in the basement of that hardware store. That was caused by a 5-alarm blaze at the 2-story brick building. Another firefighter is reported hospitalized in critical condition. More than 50 others were injured by that blast, including 2 civilians. Fire marshals are investigating the cause. Some 200 firefighters were called out to fight the flames. Many were rattled by the blast.
The firefighters I just finished speaking